In the previous episode, we explored how learning physically reshapes your brain, how neurons connect and strengthen with every new experience. In this episode, we'll dive deeper into neuroplasticity, the incredible mechanism that makes it all possible, and really get into how you can consciously shape the very structure of your mind. So, let's continue the story. We've already established that learning changes your brain, but now we're going to dig into the how. How does this amazing organ keep evolving, not just when we're kids, but for our entire lives? Okay, first things first, the most important idea you need to grab onto is that your brain is anything but fixed. That old idea of it being a static, unchangeable machine, yeah, that's completely outdated. I want you to think of it less like a computer hard drive and more like a living city map. Roads are constantly being built, some get wider, others are abandoned based on how much traffic they get. This constant reshaping is literally happening in your head right now as you're listening to me.
And this amazing property has a name: neuroplasticity. It is the fundamental reason we can learn anything at all, form memories, and even recover from injury. You could say it's the biological blueprint for personal growth.
So how does this rewiring actually work? I mean, this isn't just a nice metaphor we're using. It is a real physical process happening at a microscopic level inside your skull.
Every single thing you do, whether it's learning a new language or just practicing your golf swing, leaves a tangible mark. Neurons forge new connections, which we call synapses, and at the same time, connections you don't use can just wither away. The pathways you use the most get insulated with this stuff called white matter. It's kind of like upgrading a shaky dirt path to a super fast fiber optic cable. It lets the signals fly through way faster and more efficiently.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Plasticity isn't just one thing. It breaks down into two main types. First, you've got structural plasticity, which is about physically changing the brain's wiring. But then there's functional plasticity, which is honestly even more mind-bending. This is about the brain changing the jobs that different areas do. And this is just a perfect example. For people who lose their sight, the part of the brain that was dedicated to vision doesn't just, shut down. It gets a new assignment. It might start processing sound with incredible detail or become way more sensitive to touch. Your brain does not waste any real estate. Okay, so if experience is the sculptor of our brain, what's the chisel? It's simple, really. It's something we've all been told since we were kids: practice. You see, every time a musician plays a scale or a coder writes a line of code, they are physically strengthening a specific circuit in their brain. It's not just muscle memory, it's actual brain memory. The repetition is like a signal to your brain that says, hey, this is important. Optimize this pathway, make it faster, make it automatic. And this right here is the key takeaway. Your brain is just an incredibly efficient machine that adapts to whatever you ask of it. Whatever you consistently do, whatever you feed it, that's what it will get good at. It builds itself to be a perfect reflection of your life. But this leads us to a really critical point. This amazing mechanism for adaptation, it's completely neutral. It doesn't have a good or bad setting. So on one hand, it's the reason you can learn to play the guitar or speak a new language or get better at public speaking. It's the engine of all self-improvement. But on the flip side, that exact same process can dig deeper and deeper grooves for negative patterns. If you worry all the time, you're strengthening anxiety circuits. If you constantly slouch, you're reinforcing that posture. This is precisely why bad habits feel so automatic and are so hard to break. You've literally built a neural superhighway for that exact behavior. Let's just let that sink in for a second. The brain doesn't care if a habit helps you or hurts you. It only cares about efficiency. This is why being intentional about our actions is so incredibly important. We have to be mindful of what we're practicing every single day. So how can we be more intentional? How do we create the absolute best conditions for positive brain change? Well, the good news is we actually have a lot of control. Let's look at the key ingredients for fueling that growth. These are the fundamentals, right? During deep sleep, your brain is working hard, cementing all the new connections you made during the day. Aerobic exercise is like Miracle-Gro for your brain, releasing growth factors that encourage new links. Good nutrition provides the literal building blocks. And simply staying curious, exposing yourself to new things, is the spark that keeps the whole engine running. And here's a really powerful message of hope.
You might be thinking this is a young person's game, but it is not. While the rate of change might slow down as we get older, the capacity for change, it never goes away. The key isn't your age, it's stimulation.
Seriously, this isn't just some motivational poster slogan, it is a neurological reality. An active, engaged brain stays flexible and keeps its power to adapt. The more you challenge it, the stronger and more resilient it's going to stay. So, what does this all boil down to? It's this. You are the primary sculptor of your brain. Every day, with every action, every thought, every choice you make, you are shaping the very organ that creates your reality. That's an incredible responsibility for sure, but it's also an incredible opportunity.
Which leaves us with one last fascinating question. We know the brain can change, and we know that practice drives that change. But what directs our practice? What is it that allows us to focus our efforts and decide which circuits we want to build? In the next episode, we'll uncover the science of focus and attention, the hidden gatekeepers of all learning. Subscribe and keep training your brain.